Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here. There's something that's been on my mind for quite a while. Lucifer is the light bearer. Now, of course that's nothing new to many of my subscribers, but it it illustrates my opinion. And I'm a little bit tired, so forgive me if I'm not terribly witty and succinct. When the fuck am I ever succinct? Many people who walk what is often known as the left-hand path do walk in a path of darkness. Okay, great. I, for one, have certainly kicked around the darkness. I could give people guided tours of the fucking darkness. Okay? Now, the left-hand path, as we often call it in the West, is kind of an evolution of a misnomer based in a somewhat faulty understanding of an Eastern path. And you can Google this, but oftentimes the left-hand path refers to those of us who are interested in the occult and who are very much self-interested. We're interested in our own freedom, our own happiness, our own indulgence. We are creatures of the earth and we enjoy it. Now, many of us take on a very dark aesthetic, or an aesthetic that incorporates, maybe things like fire, blood, things that reference sex and violence. After all, these are indeed part of life. And these things should not be shunned and feared. But we should find outlets for them. We should find places to enjoy these aspects of life. They are here because that's how we survive. We should not abstain from them and fear them. We should indulge in them and enjoy them. However, we should be responsible. Because if you're not responsible, you probably won't like the consequences of your actions, right? So, if you're keen on violence, indulge in it, but perhaps do it in a boxing league, or an ultimate fighting league, or a karate class, or get yourself a punching bag. There are any number of ways to indulge in violence responsibly. Or sex. And while I do say my channel is not for children, I understand that children do watch my channel, so while I will not do a lot of self-censorship, I will also refrain from getting into the gory details, because there are indeed people who are under 18 who watch this channel. Now then, so yeah, you know how to, hopefully you know how to indulge in sex safely. And if you don't, I very much encourage you to research it, and I think that we should very much talk about sex and not be sexually repressed. We should be honest. Why? Because I prefer the consequences of an honest society rather than a dishonest society. So what is my point? Well, many people in the left-hand path do take on an aesthetic that may be offensive, that may seem harsh, hard, tough, and that's great. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, that's great. But one thing that we are forgetting is, well, I can't say that we are forgetting. I certainly cannot speak for other people. And I apologize for that, actually, because this idea of collective responsibility or something, I don't like it. There can be shared responsibility, but the idea that responsibility is somehow a collective thing of all people who fall under a label, I don't believe in it, unless it's like all Christians believe in Jesus. That's kind of a prerequisite for being Christian, right? So yeah, but all Christians are bigoted. No, that isn't true. there are certainly Christians who are not bigoted. Now then, there are times when I will indulge in, quote, darkness. But then again, I'm at dawn now. The sun is rising. I'm in a light cycle. I'm at the very beginning of the light cycle. I am perhaps in the pre-dawn hours of a light cycle. And light and things that are associated with light, I think, are not somehow diametrically opposed to the left-hand path. They are not automatically right hand. One does not have to be somehow not self-interested or in denial of their own natural inclinations in order to work with things that are often associated with light. Remember, right hand, right hand, and left hand, light and dark, these are indeed semantics here. And when I talk to you about light and dark, I'm talking about my own symbology. These aren't going to carry over necessarily to anyone else. Although symbols from other cultures have carried over to me, but I've internalized them and ascribed my own different meanings and my own associations between them. And so now they're my symbols. Now then, sometimes I think people think that to be a, quote, left-hand occultist, you have to be an asshole, or you have to have a black web page with red text, or you have to be interested in blowing shit up, or whatever. Look, if you're interested in fucking country music and flowers and collecting butterflies, if that's what makes you happy, indulge in it. And that is no more, in my opinion, right hand than heavy metal, beer, and sex. Do what makes you happy. And just as much as we are creatures of darkness, we are also creatures of light. So, as much as I will completely and utterly carry the banner of the adversary to those who would try to be the mommies and daddies of other people, as much as I carry the banner of somebody who is very much selfish and happy to be selfish, and who is very much proud of what I do when I do believe that I accomplish something that is of worth, that I enjoy. And I am very much a person who believes in indulgence, and who likes sex, and who likes metal and beer and fire, and who's writing a horror novel because it's what I enjoy. But I also enjoy folk music. And I also enjoy reading a book. And I enjoy the color pink. And I think that the light belongs in the left-hand path just as much as the darkness, at least for me. Of course, other people may be different. We all have our own semantics. We all have our own ideas, right? So now I'm in a light cycle, and we'll see how it goes, and it's going to last a very long time. My dark cycle lasted a long time. So, yeah, be happy. Be you. That's really all I'm saying. And remember, even if you are doing something supposedly selfless, you are still getting something out of it, even if you feel like you fulfilled an obligation to a moral code or to a God, or even if you feel good because you've done something generous, even if you've relieved yourself of some sort of fear of hell, even if it makes you feel good to make other people feel good, you've gotten something out of what you've done. Congratulations, you're a selfish creature. Don't be ashamed. Be proud. Don't be ashamed. Be you and be proud and be happy. I mean, this shame shit has to go. These dictatorial philosophies that say you shouldn't have any kind of ego, you should just sit down, shut up, and obey because you're going to get some reward in the end, whether it's utopia or heaven or something like that. These philosophies need to go. But it's not my job to tell other people what to believe. It's my job to figure out what I believe and live it, and hopefully somebody else will find some use in it and some use in what I say, and hopefully the world will end up becoming a little more livable for me. So that's my 2 cents. And since I'm on a light path, I will end this video on a light cycle, I guess, because my path is fucking plaid. I mean, my path isn't just light or dark. It was dark for a long time, and I was call it the underworld, call it the abyss. I needed to do it. That's where I was. But anyway, since I'm at dawn, I will say Ave Lucifer. And then I'll hang out so YouTube doesn't cut me off.